Yes.
Oh shit! Oh
Damn,
shit!
we made it.
We
That
made it.
intro, that
Fuck.
intro. Oh my God, it
Uh,
gives me chills. It gives me
yeah,
chills,
brother,
bro.
as it should. As it
What's
should.
up, everybody? What's up to our loyal viewers here in the channel and multiple streams, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram,
Mm,
everywhere,
mm,
everywhere.
Level it up.
We're playing on Elon Musk's flip phone. We're streaming right now directly to Elon Musk's flip
The
phone. He has
fuck?
a flip phone exclusively for us. What's up, everybody? Dr. Jared Vasquez. We have Alejandro de la Sen, also known as Young Ale.
That's right.
And we're here to talk about a UFC, certified ringside physician of 10 years of experience. No one else in the podcast game is doing that. Has a ringside physician. So let's talk about it. Maybe we
So
got
lucky.
Chito Vera versus Sanhagen UFC fight night.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? What do you feel when you think about this card? What are your feelings straight
Oof.
away? Hit
When I
me
think
with
about
it.
this card, I think banger. I think banger for the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe a couple of interesting ones right under, but overall, I'm so excited about this fight. These two guys, get it, are absolute killers. They like to mix it up. They are excellent strikers on their own right, very different yet with a lot of points in common. So it should be like fireworks. It's also a fight night that it's not second time this year that it's not in the Apex Center. It'll be in San Antonio, Texas.
Yes,
And
sir.
we can certainly see that the card is full of Latin fellas, is full of Latinos, and also, of course, Holly Holm. That's also a Southwesterner, I guess you would say, because I think she's from
Yes.
Mexico, right? But she's coming back and
Yep.
happier than ever, as per her Instagram posts. And so, yeah, I'm
She
very
looks great.
excited. Yeah, I mean, yeah, 40, what is it, 41, 42? Damn,
41. Certified
41.
MILF.
Oh, got it. They're gonna cancel us, bro. So we are
No,
stepping up our game by getting a little bit of a higher premium quality going, and then now you, goddamn,
no. It's moms that like to fight. A MILF.
wow.
What were you thinking? You got a dirty mom.
Here's what I'm thinking, because we are having this new system. This is what I'm thinking. You deserve clapping. You said a little clapping. Okay, that's it.
Bring
That's
it in. Bring it in.
All right, that's
Bring
it. We're,
it
guys, we have a new system here that allows us a little bit of
More creativity.
creativity. So bear with us if we mess it up. But anyway, so yeah, excellent fight. A fight that is actually gonna tell us a lot about our, or I should say, my beloved Chito Vera. Because we may want to tell our English-speaking audience that you, Jared, has been you've been receiving some heat. You've been getting some heat from the Latin, from the Ecuadorian audience after
Ecuadorian, yeah.
certain remarks you made in the past about Chito Vera doubting his skill and ability. That certainly was taken into issue by
Yep.
the Ecuadorian nation on the
They're
comment
very
section of
passionate.
your channels. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very passionate. When Chito Vera fought my Puerto
Font.
Rican Rob Font, which he's been on a decline and not had the best of luck as of recently. But I said that although damage and things that I've rethought that those statements since then, and I've kind of not retracted, but I feel a different way. When I saw the fight, of course, we're Puerto Rican. I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm pushing for my guy, Rob Font, my guy. And I thought that he had more strikes and he had more volume, but I didn't take into account, hey, damage. The damage that Chito cost on Rob Font was massive, and that is a legit, one of the criteria that's measured for a fighter to give him points and to say, hey, who won, who's more damaged, who's closer to be finished. And that was Rob Font. Unfortunately, I put some comments on the video. I reacted really quick. I put up a video that same night, and it was a tsunami of comments from Ecuadorians, letting me know, hey, you don't know shit. you know,
That's the nicest thing you said. You don't know.
Those are the nicest comments I got. But in reality, ever since I've become a huge Chito Vera fan, and Chito, has also being in the podcast of a close friend that I put into YouTube as well, which is Chente Drach, who's a influencer in Puerto Rico, one of the biggest influencers in Puerto Rico, friend of the show
Yeah.
here, of course. And
Yes.
he's been on his podcast twice, so Chito has a good connection with Puerto Rico now. So hey, I am full on that Chito Vera train right now. I am a believer and a fan. So Ecuador, grande
Oh,
Ecuador.
damn. Damn,
So
Ecuador converted you.
what I'm thinking about for this fight card, there is some housekeeping things to be done here. Of course, you got to keep
Mm,
Holy Home
mhm.
active, and there's some fighters that needed to be active and move forward to bigger fights. Off the top of my head, Andrea Lee, Macy Barber, Manel Cape, Chidi, Bam Bang, and Jakuani, Duraev. So there's a lot of things, a lot of fights that need to happen to move the division forward. And I think
Mhm.
that's the name of the game here in this fight card. But it feels like a pay-per-view. It feels like a big event because of that main event, which is phenomenal. And it's
Mhm.
that Corey Sanhagen versus Chito Vera, which is it's a great fight. So where should we start? Should we start in the let's start in the main card, in the very bottom of the main card. I
Yes,
think the
sir.
first one is Chidi and Jakwani versus Albert Duraev, if I'm
There you
not
go.
mistaken.
That is correction, my friend. It is indeed Chidi Chidi
You
Bam
got
Bam
Fast and the
Juani.
Furious. You got Fast and the Furious
Yeah,
back
well,
there.
guys, just so you have noticed, we should put like a little bit like a location mark here. So I live in New York City, guys. For those of you who don't know, and in New York, especially here in my neighborhood, I guess we're loud people here. So there is
It's
a
New
lot of
York.
loud cars going through my street. It's also a downhill, in the Washington Heights neighborhood. So, oh shit, my camera. This camera
It
always
happens. It happens.
plays
So we
games.
have
But anyway, yes,
let's
yeah, to confirm, that is the card that opens the fight that opens the card, the Chidi Njuwani against Albert Duraev, and what a fight, eh? What a couple of bona fide strikers, excellent fighters. What are your thoughts about this one? Yeah.
Yeah, when you see Chidi and Jokuwani, it's a middleweight bout. Of course, it's in the middleweight class. And Jokuwani last name has a good history in the UFC. Chidi and Jokuwani's brother, older brother, um, fought in the UFC. So this is kind of tradition, and this is a fighting family. And Chidi is a great striker. Albert Duraev is a great striker as well. But Chidi is just, when we see the takedown and grappling for Chidi and Jakuani, he literally is 0.00. He does not attempt takedowns. He had a great three-fight win streak. He fought against Sousa, against Barry Alt, and he had a great win against Dusko Todorovic, and he lost to Rodriguez. He lost to Rodriguez in a great fight with RoboCop, on a great fight,
Mhm.
back and forth, a battle
Absolutely.
where we remember that big cut that Rodriguez had in his forehead.
Oh yeah.
It was a iconic fight. It's one of those fights that doesn't reduce the stock of any of the fighters involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
Indeed.
what we're seeing here is a re-showcase of both fighters here. So we have Albert Duraev, who hasn't seen action in a little bit. Albert Duraev, his last fight, I believe, was against Joaquin Buckley in
That's
June.
right.
So it was way back, in last year in summer.
Almost a year ago. That's right.
He was knocked out on the second round. So he hasn't seen action in a little bit of while. He had a good win streak against Roman Kopylov and Caio Bittencourt in 2021. So he had a great 2021. 2022, he got KO'd by Joaquin Buckley. Hey, don't hold your head down. A lot of people get knocked out by Joaquin Buckley. He's a savage. He should be on a Black Panther movie, but fighting the Black Panther, because he's that bad. He's a great guy with a great highlight reel. Of course, you'll
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
see it. You'll see it on the clip when we clip this. He has that famous back kick, flying back kick highlight that plays is going to play countless times
Mm-hmm.
in whenever he fights. So Duraev had a great streak. He got busted. Um, Chidi and Jakuani had a great streak. It got busted. So now we got to figure out who moves forward. Who is the guy now in this division that's going to take up that next little step? And I believe that this is why this fight was done. I'll give you my prediction here. Albert
Hit
Duraev,
it.
he has great takedowns.
That's right.
I believe Chidi and Jakuani has the takedown defense. He has 75% takedown defense. And I think he's going to be able to defend takedowns. And we already know that Duraev can be hurt. And Duraev is Oh, okay, okay. And Duraev, he does have some great wrestling, but I think the reach is going to be a key factor here. The reach is almost 5 inches of reach, Ale,
Oh
which
damn.
is significant. He's going to be able to pop that jab.
Mm-hmm.
And Duraev has great cardio, but he doesn't have good enough cardio that he's able to surpass Chidi and Jokuwani's ability to land strikes and defend
Mm-hmm.
takedowns. So I think this one goes up until the second round, and Chidi's able to tag him and land some emphatic ground and pound on the floor and have the ref separate them. What are your feelings on this one?
Well, on this one, Jared, I'm gonna actually agree with you. Well, looking at both fighters, despite the fact that both come from a loss, I think even though that's the case, they come from a different place. I see Duraev a little bit of a less, for lack of a better term, reliable fighter. Like sometimes the guy looks awesome, and sometimes, like the last time against Joaquin Buckley, he looks like a shadow of what he was. So I think that Chidi was like he threw everything at Rodriguez, and we all were almost certain that he
Hmm.
was gonna finish him, and Rodriguez pulled it out of nowhere with his face, as
Yep.
you mentioned before, half split open on the second, and I think Chidi's got what it takes to defend the takedowns of Duraev, which is probably going to be uh, his biggest weapon, given that he's remarkably, as you put it, remarkably shorter than Chidi. But Chidi's gonna keep that range. Is a faster fighter for what I've seen of him
Hmm.
when compared to Duraev, and I think he's gonna be able to tag him often to connect him. And I mean, Duraev he's tough. He was a TKO, but it was a doctor's stoppage against Joaquin Buckley, and I think he hasn't been finished before. Okay, he was finished before when he was back in Mother Russia with some lovers of our show. He was finished when he was fighting in M1 because, of course, as a
Hmm.
good Russian fighter, he has fought in M1, the mother of all promotions over there in Eastern Europe, in Russia. So, but since then, 10 years ago, he hadn't been knocked out. With Joaquin Buckley was Dr. Stoppage. So he's a durable, tough guy, even though his performance is a little bit up and downy. So I think he's gonna withstand. I think I don't. After seeing Chidi throwing everything at Rodriguez and not finishing him, I think this is gonna go to decision, but it's gonna be for Chidi. So my prediction is Chidi for decision, unanimous.
There you go. Good. I hope he worked on his cardio. I mean, it's difficult when we talk about cardio and MMA fighters. There's a very important caveat. There is a number of strikes where you're going to throw it and you're going to get tired.
Mm.
Being a ringside physician on thousands of fights, I've been sitting cage
Mhm.
side on thousands of fights, and
Flex.
on every single fight, I just had to on every single fight, you see these supremely chiseled, just in the pro level, just dudes that are physically impressive
Right.
still get tired,
Mm.
still get tired. So there is a beauty of being able to be economic with your strikes. If you have power, it's great, but if you throw 30 punches with everything behind them,
Mm.
doesn't matter how much is your cardio, you will get tired. And if the other guy's smarter than you, he will drown you and you will lose. Doesn't matter. You can work on
Mm.
your cardio. There is a number where you are going to get tired. So the key here, and the problem for Chidi and Jakuani on his last fight, he was not economic. Just land the clean shot, but everything can't be with absolutely all the pepper behind it. Land
Mm.
two
Yeah.
soft jab, 20%. If you know they're landing, then put that two with with pepper behind it. But if everything is absolutely super hard,
Mm,
you're gonna get tired. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he has that discipline moving forward to be a little bit um a little bit more smart and
hmm.
durable, and Chidi can be durable against Duraev.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, indeed. We get it.
What a horrible
Uh,
dad joke. Durable against Duraev. Oh, I
it's.
apologize
I
for
mean,
that.
guys.
I apologize.
I hope the
I
level.
am a
I
dad.
hope the level goes up. I cannot promise it though. You know. Yeah, it's a master. A master of comedy.
Of the dad joke, but
Yes, thank
it
you.
is what it is.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
let's go to the next fight. Alex Perez versus Manel Starboy Cape. What a
Mm.
horrible name. Starboy.
Mhm. Which technically that's the last one of the prelims, Jared. But we want to talk about it because it's a pretty interesting fight of up and comers,
hmm
especially for
hmm
Cape, right?
Manel Cape, when he first got into the UFC, there was a lot of hype behind him.
Mm.
And he had two losses right away. And this is a guy, Manel Cape is a guy that he had, championships outside of the UFC, and he had a crazy streak before he came in. So everybody was completely excited for Manel Cape. Before he entered the UFC, he was coming in a three-fight win streak. He was
Hmm.
fighting for Ryzen, and so everybody was excited. He had some L's in Ryzen. I'm not gonna lie, but he defeated Ian McCall, which was a great, fighter from the UFC. So he had a whole bunch of great fights, great
Hmm.
performer. Steps into the UFC. Mateus Nicolau, and Alexandre Pantoja,
That's the problem right
stopped
there. Hmm.
stopped his momentum. Then he's able to defeated Ode Osborne by emphatic way, Salgas Sumagulov and David Dvorak
Hmm.
last. So this is another fight. This is another fight that we're gonna see who moves forward in the division. So we had Alex Perez, who lost to Pantojas, also lost to Davison Figueiredo, which is no Pantoja and Figueiredo. I mean, those
Uh,
losses, you can't fault a guy for losing a fight against Figueiredo,
top.
Davison
Hmm.
Figueiredo, the top.
Top
But
contenders.
we have to figure out who moves forward in the rankings game, and
Hmm.
this is a perfect fight. Alex is a banger. When you see his stats, this is a guy that has a great volume of strikes. He has 50% accuracy. He has good takedown average, 2.84 takedown average, which is great. He has a lot of volume in both, so he's a well-rounded fighter. He can fight on the ground, he can fight along the fence, and he can bang on his feet. And he's looking to put that into work against Manel Cape. Manel Cape, it's no secret. He doesn't have a lot of takedowns. He does have great
Hmm.
takedown defense, but how do you think Pantoja was able to beat him? How do you think Nicolau was able to beat him? They neutralized him and they were able to take him to the ground. So here, what I'm seeing is a test. This is a test for Cape.
Hmm.
Can he? Did he do his homework? Did he get prepared to go against this great fighter that has the tools that are his kryptonite? That's the question. I think the caliber of fighters that Alex Perez has faced is a little bit better. Mark De La Rosa, Jordan Espinosa, Jussier Formega, um, Pantoja, Davison Figueiredo, Joseph
Hmm.
Benavides, Jose
Yep.
Torres, Eric Shelton, Kevin Gray. These fighters that Alex has fought, I think they're a little bit, you know, more suitable for the recent opponents that Manel Cape had. So I think that we see him survive an early onslaught by Manel Cape with
Mm.
great strikes. He could
Hmm.
get caught. I could be wrong. He could get caught, and he could put Alex out. But Alex his last two losses have been by submission. I don't think Cape can submit him. I might be out of pocket here. What are your thoughts? I'm going Alex Perez writing out a great decision. Manel Capet tires out, mid second round. So I think he could write out the decision. What are you? Are you in the same boat like I am?
Well, things that yeah, I really like Manuel Cape. I really like the kind of fighter that he is. A consummated striker, and guy with a fascinating story. Born in Angola, grew up kind of like in Portugal, but then he's made a name for himself in the fighting game in Thailand. He actually fights out of Phuket, and it's with that AKA team that has a bunch of killers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, he fought in Rising, and the truth is that I was trying to what you were talking because I'm like, I don't even know what Manel Capes level of grappling is, and I cannot fully find here what exactly what belt he is on BJJ, or if he did any sort of grapple different, like I don't
Judo,
know,
grappling,
yeah, judo, or maybe I don't know, sambo, since he fought in Russia or something. I'm sure he has some sort of training, but he certainly doesn't have the level of Alex Perez, who is a bona fide wrestler, Mexican American, but brought in the collegiate system in wrestling in the US. So it's a guy that, of course, has a ground game that is significantly better, as you can see here in the grappling stats. They speak for that precisely. He throws takedowns. He's got solid accuracy, of course, excellent defense as well. So it's a great matchup. You described it perfectly. We're gonna have a guy like Manel Cape who likes to use his legs a lot, to get busy, and to strike as much as he can, try to defend the takedowns and not being put down on the floor, because that's where he, on the mat, on the canvas, where he really suffers. And Alex Perez is young. He's fought the cream of the crop in the division and lost against them. So as you perfectly said, extra. He has a point extra there in experience against top level fighters. So, and he's lost 2 in a row with those two juggernauts, Pantoja and Figueiredo. So he's thirsty. He is in desperate need for a win. So he's gonna come guns blazing, and it's just such a great matchup that it can go either way. I feel, So I guess on this one, I'm gonna go with a personal like. All right, I certainly can be wrong in Alex Perez, since he is in desperate need of that fight, and he needs to assert himself as the number 6 that he is. Because let's not forget, this is number 6 against the number 9 in the flyweight division, Jared. So is a top 10 fighters fight. So I think, though, that Manuel Cape is going to be able to outpoint him. I'm not sure. I don't think, because Alex Perez is durable as heck, so I don't think he's going to be finished. The two fights he lost against those against the Brazilians were I think you said it, were both by submission. Of course, Manuel Cape is very unlikely that he's going to be able to submit him, so he's going to try to outpoint him and try to finish him. And I think he will do the former. I think this is going to be a decision, a labored, intense decision by Manuel Cape, but Manuel Cape is going to take it over Alex Perez. Yep.
All right, we're different there. We're different. I'm going with my boy Alex Perez all the way. So I think the next fight that we definitely have to talk about, and that's another thing, cardio. Cardio pops up absolutely everywhere. When you talk about MMA and you talk about matchups and what you're going to do in the matchups, you have to talk about cardio. So let's go ahead and pull up our girl, Macy Barber, against Andrea KGB Lee. She's an amazing fighter. Macy Barber, great fight. She was really young. I believe she was like 19 and 20 when she joined the UFC. So she was maybe the youngest woman to join the UFC and to be fighting in the UFC. I might be speaking out of pocket, but I think I'm right. Macy Barber, she trained with in Wisconsin with Jesus. What's the name? Got knocked out by Masvidal. Jesus Christ.
But knocked out by Masvidal?
Ben Askren. No, she
yeah, they sent our intro. God damn.
The memory of the name. I can see the face on the curly hair. The memory of Ben Askren's name, his CTE, and that trauma that Masvidal put on him was so great that it caused amnesia and everybody forgetting Ben Askren's name. But yeah, she trained with Ben Askren in Wisconsin. She's a great fighter. And I think she's building back up. She has a 3-win streak, three win fight streak right now. She was touted to be a contender for the title at the beginning. Not a contender, but somebody that it was so good that could have a route, to the title maybe in a year or two. And she had some setbacks. She had some setbacks in her career, and she had an ACL tear when she fought Rosanne Modafferi. She lost against Alessa Grasso right after that, but she's won against Miranda Maverick, Montana de la Rosa, and Jessica I in a row. So those are 3 great names there. She's able to put together, and now she fights against Andrea Lee, which has been losing to absolutely everybody. Araujo. She's lost to Rosanne Modafferi as well against Lauren Murphy.
Mhm.
There's a win here, Shevchenko, but hey, not the good Shevchenko, not the
That
young
very
Shevchenko, the
important, very important
older.
difference there. That's right.
Hey, the older Shevchenko, which is she's great. I don't I don't want to be an ageist here. She's great. La Pantera Shevchenko. I don't know. I don't remember her name. Of course, because she's the second Shevchenko. She's not the first one.
Of
Um,
course.
but KGB Lee is a great name, and I think this is a feature matchup for Macy Barber. This is the next step for Macy Barber to defeat a name that has some weight behind it. Although KGB has a lot of losses on her record, but imagine having a W against Miranda Maverick, Montana de la Rosa, now Jessica I, and then you defeat KGB Lee, who's fought against absolutely everybody in the division. This is of course a woman's flyweight bout. Uh, KGB Lee has defeated Montana de la Rosa. She's fought Ashley Evans Smith, Veronica Hardy, Joanne Calderwood. She fought everybody. So this is a iconic name of the flyweight division that you need to defeat in order to move forward and perhaps start digging away at the top 10 of the division. So I think Macy Barber, she's matured into her body now. She is, I don't know how old is Macy Barber.
24. Yeah, it.
She's 24, so she's
Mhm.
working athletically um to be a full athlete. Take off the statistics for a minute. I want to say something important about
Oh
Macy
damn! Oh
Barber.
damn, guys! Oh shit! Here we go.
Let's
Macy
let's pull up
Barber.
let's pull up Macy Barber right here.
You
And
want
her little
Macy Barber?
PNG. I want that
If
I put bring her up. Bring her up. You have her there
if
in
the
the
dog
magic of
wants
the internet.
if the dog wants the PNGs, he gets the goddamn PNGs. There you go.
There we go. There we go. So we have right here Miss Macy Barber. There is a fact about Macy Barber that is completely important. Macy Barber is 24 years old now. She's been in the UFC for a while. What happens to an athlete at 24? Well, there is something in the brain that is called the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the part of the brain that
Oh
helps
damn!
you with decision making. So, an athlete, the closer they get to 25, those decisions are going to be better. Those when to shoot takedown, when to strike. So as an individual, as a person, she's maturing and she's growing and she's developing the important part of her brain that is going to let her make the right decision.
Damn.
So for this fight, I'm going with Macy Barber. She's close to maturity as an athlete. Her ACL probably healed great and she probably has great rehab on it. But the most important part is look in here in the noggin at 20, close to 25, for her frontal lobe more developed, she will make the best decisions in that fight. So I'm looking at Macy Barber to have a great showing in this fight and dominate Andrea KGB Lee, who has been known to be, susceptible to controlling ground games, and I think that's what Macy Barber has. So what is your pick, Ale?
On this one, I'm certainly going with Barber as well. I didn't have her that much in my radar. I saw Andre Ali fight in the last few years quite a bit. She's, as you were saying, she's a solid fighter. She's a fighter that can definitely bang
Hmm.
inside the octagon, but I think she is now in the decline. She
Hmm.
probably will put up a good fight. She'll challenge the younger Macy Barber. I think Macy Barber is gonna take it. She seems to have more going on her side. She's as you said, maturing and growing. She wanted to be the she was once taunted as the next youngest ever champion. They were saying that she could even beat John Jones. Obviously, she can't anymore, but she's still considered a top prospect, and I think she got what it takes to defeat Andrea Lee and to step over her, and who knows, maybe and hopefully, I guess, fight a top 10 contender and continue going. And she knows already what it is to be fighting against the now champion because she was defeated by Alexa Grasso as well. So I'm sure we'll see her up there in the upcoming years in the upcoming fights. So I think she takes it. I think she takes it over Andrelli, yeah, with a decision.
Perfect, perfect. So let's go ahead and move on to the next fight. This card is great, and of course, it's the time for the ladies, for the older ladies,
Ah.
to make their their mark here on the fight card. So let's
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and pull up those stats. We have the when I say the preacher's daughter is
Oh
a
boy.
iconic. Look at Holly, man. She looks great. She looks phenomenal. She
Mm-hmm,
looks
mm-hmm.
phenomenal.
Okay,
Okay.
somebody's got a pick going here.
Hey, hey, hey. I love me some Holly Holm. You
Oh
know,
snap! Got it.
it's
Yep.
I love her.
Doctor and wife, please.
Okay, okay. Just as a fan, love her.
As a fan. Gotcha,
Love
gotcha.
her. Love
Noted,
her.
noted
You know,
duly. Okay.
if I ever
Yes,
get
sir.
divorced, maybe will I shoot her a DM? Yes. Yes, but
Probably.
I'm not. Hey, but
You're not gonna.
let's focus. Let's focus.
Let's
Let's
wait.
focus.
Please,
So we
please.
have
If you could.
Holly Holm, the preacher's daughter. She's a classic, of course, in the women's bantamweight division.
A legend.
14-6. Yana Santos, which was previously Yana Kuniskaya. Now she's married to Marreta
Mm-hmm.
Santos. So that's a power couple right there. That's a power couple
Indeed.
right there in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So she's fighting against Holly Holm. Holly Holm has had, a hot and cold last couple years. She's had great victories against Irene Aldana, which was a great fight for her against Raquel Pennington, against Megan
Mm-hmm.
Anderson. But she's had, when it counts, she can't pull the trigger. She lost against Ketlin Vieira, a split decision, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
a great back and forth fight,
That's right.
but she wasn't able to cement that third victory, to maybe get another. And sounds ludicrous to get another title shot. And Holly has been a previous champion, of course.
Mm-hmm. Let's
Um,
not forget.
but she's had countless, chances to add the belt.
Yeah.
Fought against and lost against Amanda Nunez and Cyborg and Jermaine Durandamy in a very, you know, in a very disputed decision, unanimous decision. So she's a classic. She's a classic in the UFC. Of course, she's how 30 what, Ale? Holly?
Holly is 41. Yeah.
Holly's
She'll
41.
be
No
yeah,
way.
she'll be 42 in October this year. Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. In
Yep.
her 40s.
Yeah. In her
Perfect
40s.
shape.
That's right. Mm-hmm. With the
Perfect shape.
hey,
I gotta give
beyond
her
perfect.
props.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Gotta give
Yep.
her
Yep.
props. And what about Yana Santos? Just
Ye-
had a baby,
Mm-hmm.
in shape
Yeah,
as well.
she's 33. She's one of those who likes to wear the T-shirt. Not a big fan over here of those, but yeah, she's 33. Recently had a baby, and because of that, she's been out of the octagon yet for almost 2 years. Her last
Hmm.
fight was, I
Hmm.
think you mentioned it against Irene Aldana on July 2021. So
Hmm.
she's been out of the game for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's see if that um, mentioned and Najan Octagon Rust or Ring Rust
Yeah.
will be playing a role on
And
Saturday with her, right?
Irene Aldana knocked her out with punches on
Yep.
the first round, and that is rare
Yeah.
in a female fight, having
Mhm.
a knockout, a blast knockout like that, like it happened with Irene. Irene has Irene, I love Irene Aldana. She has hands of steel. She's a monster boxer, an MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But here, like you mentioned, what we're going to take into consideration is time out of the octagon.
Mm.
Holly Holm doesn't fight a lot. She fought in
True.
2022, lost. Then before it was 2020. She had two great victories in 2020. 2021, she was absent in the octagon. Of course, this is pandemic times, and so it was weird. And there was not a lot of highlights on female fights at that time, and so it's understandable. So her last, it's been almost a year as well for Holly Holm. So this is the name of the game in this fight is who has more ring rust after a year or after 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think Holly Holm is sharp. I think Holly Holm, for those of you that don't follow Holly on social media, Holly is so active on I don't know.
Let me
I'm
just
not. Hey, listen,
touch
listen.
this. Let's
Let's
just.
let's just let's hold on. Let me just hey
Okay. Let me just
Holly.
show myself. There you go. Talk to her. Talk to her. Let us be witness.
Hey, Holly. I
How
think
you
you've been
doing?
great.
How you doing?
I think you've been great. Um, Let me get a little closer now.
Jared,
It's great,
Jared, Jared,
Holly.
Jared.
When you
Putting the marriage on the
wait.
line for you all, guys. Holy shit. Hey,
when
look.
you take a look at Holly Holm in social
Papa.
media, she's very active, training she doesn't have a off season. This woman is always in the gym and always doing fitness activities. That's why
Mm,
I believe that she's going to assert dominance with great strikes, great distance management, great
mm,
takedown defense against
mhm,
Yana Santos. Yana Santos, a great striker in her own right, but
yep.
Holly just has a little bit of more pop. What factors for me into this young lady right here may be losing a step is the age. That's the only thing. Whether
Mm,
you like it or not, when you have a female fighter in her 40s, she's
mm.
closer to 50 than closer to 30. And what happens
Brr.
to women, Ale, from age 40 to age 50? I'm gonna quiz you right now. What happens
Okay, guys.
physiologically?
Here's the doc putting me on the spot.
I'm gonna put you in the spot right
Physiologically,
now.
I'm without knowing this age range only on occasion and maybe not completely sober. I'm gonna go with menopause.
There you go. There you
Okay.
go. You know what? I
Mm-mm.
gotta give you
Eh. Well,
your
what you gonna?
props. You did it
Oh,
well.
thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Jared. You are a gentleman and scholar. Thank you.
Menopause is happening in Holly Holmes to a certain degree. Menopause is not a switch. One day you have your menstrual period. No, menopause is a fluctuation of your hormones, and your hormones influence how your body works.
Damn,
That's the
guys.
thing that I'm thinking with Holly. That's the only thing. Yana has that over her. I'm still going with
Yeah,
Holly just because of physicality.
Jared, I just want to cut this right here. So, just so everyone know where. Okay, where guys and gals who are listening to this, our 1 to 2 solid audience members he is tonight, and the ones who are gonna see it in the future at a later
Yeah,
stage
yeah,
as
the
we'll be
clip,
posting
of
this
course.
beyond the lives. But where else can you find MMA talk, UFC banter, and at the same time learn a little bit about the intricacies of the female body, all in one single destination? I mean,
Nowhere.
there is no one. There is no one in the internet. There is no one in the traditional broadcast system. There's no one nowhere doing this. I got no words. I am very
Luck,
not
my friend.
familiar with the menopause process and phenomena. So thank you, Jared. Thank you for shedding light on this one. When it comes to the actual fighters, I actually agree with you 100%. I think Holly Holmes still has some fire. There is still strength. There is still ability. There is still uh, capability, and she's a true martial artist. That's the best way to put it.
Yep,
You
yep.
nibbled on it. You said that she dedicates herself fully to the sport. She is in the gym every day. Shows it on her social media, as you put it. She looks, and I want to say this. I want everyone to remember that fight against Ketlin Vieira. And Ketlin Vieira, we covered it here back in the day last year when we were only doing
Hmm.
Spanish lives, and that fight was a steal. That fight was taken away from Holly Holm. Holly Holm did, in my humble opinion, I think many other people agreed, uh, she did way more to defeat Vieira. I'm not sure what they gave the split decision to Vieira, but when it was challenged, obviously it was a pretty up there, head to head and toe to toe fight, but she won to me. So she didn't really show that she was. Of course, she's not championship material anymore. If you put her again against Amanda Nunes, she probably will rip her head off. But she's still a solid fighter. I don't see anything on Yana Kunitskaya as a highlight that could show me that she is going to defeat Holly. So I think, like you do, that Holly is gonna take it. I don't know. Maybe she will even pull up a TKO. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. Mm.
It could be. It could be. It could be. So now, with that said, of course, we're going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We have ample time to talk about this guy right
Oh
here.
boy.
This guy
Oh
right
boy.
here, our boy from Ecuador. Ecuador
El
en la
Chito.
casa.
Ecuador en la
Grande.
casa, papá. Yes, sir.
Así es. Así es. So Ecuador, Chito Marlon Chito Vera has grown to be a headliner, and he has been proving people wrong, including me, for the past for the
Mm-hmm.
past for the past couple of years
Yeah.
in his career. I'm so excited for this fight right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is a true test for Marlon Vera. He's beat, his last four opponents. His last no, let's say his last six opponents. He has a loss in there,
Mm-hmm.
but in his, I'm gonna mention him. He's
You
fought
gotta.
Sean O'Malley and
Mm-hmm.
stopped the hype train. Not stopped, slowed down the hype train. And I believe they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight down the line. If he's
Mm-hmm.
able, if
Wow.
Marlon's able to go through Corey Sanhagen, that second fight against Sugar is gonna be huge
It's a must.
when it happens. It's a
Yep.
must. It's a must. But Sean O'Malley, Jose Aldo, Davy Grant, Frankie Edgar, Rob Font, and Dominic Cruz. Just having Dominic Cruz and Jose Aldo in your record as wins is an amazing feat right there by itself. So it's something that it's truly important when you analyze the career of Chito Vera, and he has been consistently working. He's had a couple of win streaks in the UFC. Then he's had a couple of defeats as well. That defeat against Sonya Dong, it rings a bell. And then he's consistently worked, and his profile as a fighter, as a
Mm.
public figure, has grown massively. And the backup of Latin America, including our friend Chente in Puerto Rico, who I just happened to introduce to the world of MMA. Thank you. You're welcome, everybody. You are welcome.
Wow.
uh
Wow. Wow.
ha-
Medal for
uh,
Yaret. Medal
let's
for
get
Yaret.
let's you know what,
Let's
not
put
not a
them.
medal. Let's just go ahead and just like,
Somebody's
hey,
loving the. Somebody's
you're
loving the new.
welcome. You're
the new.
welcome. You're welcome.
The new
Um,
SFXs.
so he's really active in social media now. He has the backup of big companies, his sponsorship. So Chito is
Mm.
making great amounts of money. Of course, we all know the struggles he had with his daughter. He had a daughter that had a serious disease that didn't let her have feelings expressed in her face. So
Yeah.
it's been a difficult couple of years for Chito, and he's worked hard. He has the immigrant mentality, like Joey Diaz says.
Oh yeah.
Immigrant
Fuck
mentality.
yeah.
That's the most dangerous thing that Chito Vera has, and his work ethic. He's grown to be a headliner. Now he's gonna fight against a monster like Corey Sanhagen in his own right. Corey has been fighting Beast, Song Yadong, Peter Yan, TJ Dillashaw. Of course, he's had a couple
Yep.
losses as well. Frankie Edgar, Marlon Moraes, Aljamain Sterling,
Everybody,
Rafael
bro.
Assunção. John Lineker, Yuri Alcantara. So absolutely everybody, and it's volume high volume fight. So when we pull up the statistics and we're talking about this matchup,
Let
um,
me do that for you. Yeah,
it's
I have
very
them right
important.
here.
It's very important. In age, they have the same age. They're born in the same year. Both of them are switch fighters. Both of them have a 70-inch reach. The only thing is that Corey is a little taller and has longer leg reach.
Mm.
The strikes landed per minute are a little bit greater in Corey Sanhagen, and the strikes landed by Chito are 4.28. Both have almost the same accuracy, and both have almost Chito absorbs one more strike. The defense is, we could round it out to the same. The takedown average the same. So this is a high level kick boxing fight. The only thing here is that I believe
Mm-hmm.
that Chito Vera gets stronger with each passing round. And Chito Vera, if you, it's the same thing like I said with Holly. Follow Chito on social media, and you'll see Chito posting, running absolutely every single freaking day. This guy works at the cardio a lot. He
Mm-hmm.
has Jason Perillo behind him, who is, in my opinion, one of the top three striking coaches in the UFC, bar none. His signature strikes, significant, I should say, are more, and they happen in moments where they count the most. Sanhagen is great. He does have great significant strikes, but Chito has great defense. You only have to see the Rob Fong fight. He knows where to cover up. He knows that he needs to wait for you to spend your energy and run out of battery, and then he turns up the heat. He knows you're cooked, and he can deliver significant strikes at the right moment. That is
Mm.
the key. That is the key. Take away the stats and put Chito up there again.
Let's put Chi-O up here.
The key to the fight of Chito Vera versus Corey Sanhagen is that this guy can deliver significant strike at the right moment. Of course, everybody knows this is the clip. He can cook you during the fight, and he still has power on that fourth and fifth round, even at the end of the third round. So he's able to deliver that KO blow where it matters. It's not that first round emptying the clip on the first round like crazy. He knows when to deliver. So call him Chito Delivery Vera. That should be his new name, his new nickname. He's Chito Delivery Vera. So talk to me about Corey, about this skinny, scraggly kid that, if you don't know about fighting and you see in the street shirtless, you're like, I can take him on. What do you
That
think
is
about this? And what is your take on this fight?
well, this fight. I mean, I've been thinking so much about it. Yeah, I've been watching these two fighters
Mhm.
fight after fight, making the most out of the goddamn UFC Fight Pass to try to figure out who has the advantage here, who really has more chances to take it, and I cannot come to terms yet. I don't know what the heck is gonna happen because when you look at these two guys, of course, you just mentioned what just mentioned. When it comes to Corey Sanhagen, he has fought almost everybody in the division. He's faced top, former, and current champions in the bantamweight division, and he is fairly well with all of them. Of course, he lost against Aljamain, current champion. He lost. We're gonna say lost because I don't think he'll lose. I think that was a split decision that they gave to TJ Dillashaw. Who knows why? But I think if it wasn't a draw, I think Sanhagen did more. And then against Peter Yang, it was back to 2021 Peter Yang. Remember that guy who everyone thought was the next champion, no questions asked. Oh
Mhm.
boy, little we knew what was gonna happen, eh? Little we knew. But Carson Hagen is an excellent technician, a wonderful striker, a master of distance, a master of leg kicking, a master of really piecing apart his opponents. He's a guy who's constantly changing stances, who chooses his shot masterfully, and who certainly is a very tough matchup with against someone like Chito Vera, who also is a striker, who also likes to pick his shots, and who also
Yeah.
has in his legs perhaps his most dangerous weapon. So if I may add, if I since you took a little bit of the side of Chito Vera because you were a little bit, you're a little bit feeling the burn from that the first scuff that you had with the Ecuadorian audience. I think Sanhagen, he's got more experience hands down than Chito, and he's fought also tough opponents. So when it comes to comparing them both, I think that's where Corey has the upper hand against Chito. It is also important to remember that, of course, now it's easy to be on Cheeto's side. I'm not saying that it's easy for you, but it's kind of like, okay, yeah, Cheeto's arrived with a banger. But let's not forget that the last three guys Cheeto fought and won over, they are older fighters. They are fighters, especially Frankie Edgar and Dominic Cruz, perhaps on their way out. Rob Font's a little younger, but he's also been in a lot of wars. So they were perfect fighters for Chito, who struggle with them, especially with Rob Font. I mean, Yared, you and I were talking. I remember perfectly, guys, because I was the night of this fight. I was about to enter the freaking Madison Square Garden to see Amanda Taylor versus Amanda Serrano versus whatever Taylor that Jake Paul bout that was organized. But then I had a problem because I ran a motorcycle. They didn't let me my helmet with me, and they were telling me to go somewhere and drop it or whatever. So they messed me up, so I couldn't attend that fight. So I just stayed in a bar next by Madison Square Garden watching the UFC because fuck them for not letting me in, right? So I remember us texting and saying, "Damn, Rob Font put it on Chito Vera in the first round, in the second round, but then." In classic Chito Vera or classic new Chito Vera, because he wasn't like that in the beginning. I've been watching early fights, and he was a bit of a different fighter. He was a little bit more gun shy, and he was not as patient maybe, and he didn't pick his shot appropriately at times, and that's why he got. But he was also extremely young, because let's not forget, Jared, that
Yeah. Yeah. He was
that
working.
Marlon Chito Vera started like in the UFC. When is it? Like 30? Damn, it's gonna be 10 years next year. He picked up his first fight, a loss, on November 2014, Jared. This fella has been in for a minute, losing against Marco Beltran. But he's got the journey of a journeyman, being redundant, because damn, he's fought a lot until making it to this point in which he's considered a real top contender. Anyway, what I was saying is that he struggled and he was losing that fight up to the third round. Yeah. So Chito's a slow starter. Chito's a guy that struggles in the first round, especially with fighters that have volume, with fighters that can put it on him. And I think Sanhagen is just that guy. He knows perfectly that his game plan is gonna be coming composed but guns blazing at the same time, trying to oppose him and trying to damage him from the get-go. And Chito knows that, everyone knows that he is a slow starter. So I'm assuming he's gonna try to be a little bit conscious of that and not getting not picking up too much damage early on. So I think I just, again, the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, the more
The more
unclear.
difficult it gets.
Yeah, the more unclear it is to me. But so let me put it on you. Let me put it back on you. Can we confirm, because everything seems to indicate that? Can we confirm that the doc, Don Jared Vasquez, is right in the Chito train and is going with Chito on this prediction?
This is what I'm gonna tell you.
Please.
I think that Chito is gonna be able to be smart with his defense on the first
Okay.
2 to 3 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna keep Corey Sanhagen at bay. Corey's gonna
Mm-hmm.
have great moments. He's gonna
Oh, yeah.
go, of course, for that middle knee right down the middle. He's gonna go for kicks. He's gonna go for elbows. He's a
Mm.
great, he has great elbows. He might cut Chito a little bit. This is gonna be a bloody, messy fight. But I
Mm-hmm.
think Chito has that power at the very end, where Corey, he's great, but I think he doesn't fade. But I think Chito will be able to read him. Chito analyzes absolutely everything in the fight. the first couple of rounds. He's downloading. I know it's
Mm.
tacky to say. A lot of people say that same line. He downloads his fighters, his
La
opponent's
Rata.
data on the first rounds. But he does that, and I think he's gonna be able to split Corey down the middle
Mm.
with a great jab, hurt him,
Mm.
and maybe go to the body
Ooh.
and make him pay. If Corey, I'll tell you the opposite. If Corey can get Cheeto to the ground and
Mm.
punish him in the ground, it's gonna be a
Okay.
short fight. But I don't think
Shit.
that's not gonna happen. So my pick is gonna be this guy right here, Marlon Chito Vera. He does it late on. He finishes Corey late round 4, round 5, or
Mm.
goes and wins a decision like he did
Mm.
with Rob Font. I mean, he almost stopped Rob Font, but I think
Damn.
Chito will shine in
The
rounds
composed his face.
second half of the third round. 4
Mm-hmm.
and 5 belong to Chito, and the more damage will belong to Chito. So I think, yeah, that
Yeah.
that's my pick. Chito Vera.
Chito Vera, eh? Well, Chito Vera, who, by the way, has only fought twice a 5-round fight, by the way. I gotta say, and the second one was, and that's been his last two fights, the Rough on one and the Dominic Cruz, in which he was
Mhm.
to some, he was struggling, he was losing, and then he connected that excellent kick that put
Yeah, downloading the
Dominic
data,
Cruz
baby.
and his nose into space. That's right, he downloaded La
Yeah.
Lata. Honestly, I would love to see this fight, though. I would love to see from Chito to show us that black belt in jiu-jitsu. He always talks about how he loves jiu-jitsu, how he cannot get enough in training of the sanctified sport of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So I would like to see. I wish this fight surprised us all and had Chito trying to dominate and potentially submit Corey Sanhagen on the canvas with his jiu-jitsu. Corey Sanhagen, it's a fighter. It's a brown belt. I was checking it just to make sure I wasn't messing it up. It's a brown belt, but is not stronger on the canvas. He was submitted by Aljamain Sterling real quick. He got his back and strangled him with a rear naked choke. Let me see if he's been submitted. That's the only submission he has, but still. If I were to go wild, I wish Chito could shake up the world by submitting Corey Sanhagen and showing that on top of being a top of the
Great
food
striker.
chain striker is also an accomplished grappler. But now my prediction is I love Chito. Here's how I put it in my head. What do I want? I want Chito Vera to win. I want Chito Vera to fight. I don't like O'Malley, so I hope Chito wins so he can face O'Malley. O'Malley, obviously, they're not gonna get him Chito because he has the star power. Let's not even that gives conversation for the whole other podcast. This whole thing about
Yep.
star power
Yep.
because he plays on Twitch video games and he colors his hair and he smokes a lot of
Fair,
weed. This
fair.
is this is
That's
all you
fair.
take. Yeah, but then
Great
then we'll
talent.
see great talent too. But then, but when he's a star, what he's a star is because it's not because of his talent, or at least it's not only and solely because of his talent. I think the other parts play a larger role in the whole pay-per-view star power. Let's give him, a top 3 contender. Let's put him up there as the fighter who takes the winner of Aljamain versus Henry. That will take part in a couple of months here in Newark.
God,
Newark. And
that's it.
but I don't know. That's what I want. Now, what I think it may happen, and this is a prediction, so I
Mhm.
hope I'm wrong, but I think Corey Sanhagen is going to make a statement. I think Corey Sanhagen is going to be able to stop on his tracks
Ooh.
Chito Vera. I think he's going to make it extremely difficult. This fight is going to go to the last rounds. It may even go to decision. These two are going to put up fireworks of a show. And I think Corey is going to take it for a not even I don't think it's going to be a unanimous
Man.
decision yet. It's going to be a split decision, maybe even a majority decision. See what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
going to be very, very tough, very challenging, and they're going to put up an excellent show. That's my prediction. Curry takes it. Curry takes it by a freaking hair. But in reality, I really, really hope that Chito Vera wins Saturday night. So
Man.
that's my thoughts. That's my word. That's my prediction.
Yeah, you caught me by surprise. So there you have it,
That's how I
everybody.
do it, bro. That's how I do it.
You have all our picks. It was a great podcast. We got great fights going on this
Oh
weekend.
shit.
Stay tuned. We're more content to the channel,
Yes.
and we love absolutely everybody that connected. And if you see it on the clips or if you see it on YouTube, make sure you like and share. and be
Please
part of
share,
the
guys.
conversation. And that's it. See you next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And
That's
we love
right.
you guys. Lo quiero con cojones.
Oh yes.
Figure it
Ay,
out what that
papa.
means.
Oh.